I want you to read this headline. And then I want you to ask yourself a question. Maybe you're listening. I'll read it to you. Netflix scrambled internally to suppress controversial movie from search results. Well, do you know what movie that was? Well, it was the one that was supposed to be allegedly an art film, but angered just about everybody. It started with a weird poster that made it very difficult to believe that the movie was about what they were saying it was about. To me, it felt like it was a movie for a certain group of people who, should, well, you know who I'm talking about. This movie, it's tough. I can't know what was going through the director's mind when they created it. I don't know what was going through the minds of parents as they sent in audition tapes. Because you know what was a part of those audition tapes, right? I mean, hey, we need you to do these, the same type of moves you would see in a WAP music video at 8. That's what they needed in their tapes, which who knows where all those audition tapes are. One wonders. Don't you wonder? The idea that they would scramble to keep the movie out of both search recommendations and search results. What does that tell you? What does that tell you? Doesn't tell me that they were super proud of it. In September 2020, Netflix was in turmoil as the company battled its most significant PR issue to date. Now, I can agree. I think we can all agree it would not have been as bad if not for the original poster that they used to promote it. That was disturbing. Earlier that year, the streaming platform had acquired the worldwide rights to a French film after it was lauded premiere at the Sundance Film Festival. Here's an interesting little food for thought. The creator of Sundance Film Festival, which loved this movie so much, has been charged not once but twice for exactly what you might think they were doing. So the creator of this festival is a ped, and they loved this movie. Must be a coincidence. Having the crop tops and striking spicy dance poses. The fallout was immediate. Hashtag cancel Netflix started trending on Twitter. Conspiracy theorists claimed the company was distributing straight up. Letter C, letter P. I don't think that's what it was. Just because words have meanings. And I can't get upset when the left does this. When they take, words that we all know the common definition of and then apply it to just Republicans or whatever the case may be. Netflix quickly apologized for the poster, but stood by the film, much like they stood by Dave Chappelle. After all, the frenzied response was to the marketing, not to the movie itself. CEO Ted Sarandos called the director to personally own up to the mistake. Behind the scenes, Netflix, however, scrambled to minimize public backlash by suppressing the film in search results prior to its release. Why would you do that? Isn't that interesting? If you didn't think you had anything to hide, why were you hiding it? It removed the film from the coming soon and popular searches category and excluded it from queries that weren't the exact title. So if you were looking for a movie called, I don't know, The House on Haunted Hill. Essentially, the only way you could find it was you couldn't type Haunted Hill or The House. You had to type the whole thing in. Essentially, Netflix shadow banned this film. The incident hints at how Netflix can manipulate its algorithm to navigate a PR crisis, walking a fine line between allowing their creative expression while tightly controlling a movie's reach. Internal documents removed by The Verge detail how Netflix dealt with its PR crisis in the company's own words, suppressing promotion and related search queries. It seems to be, for a company that doesn't really have a lot of leaks, I have to say that Netflix has been having a lot of spicy leaks this week, and I got to say I am here for it. By the way, if you're here for it too and you appreciate the coverage, I'm trying to push hard here at the end of the month. YouTube has a membership program. It's exactly like a Twitch subscription. If you're in a position to, I would really appreciate your support. Covering topics like this generally means you get the yellow sign of sadness, and your support by joining as a member today helps remove a lot of the stress of covering this kind of stuff. Or I also have a link to my Subscribe Star in the description. I know, by the way, it's not required, but if you're in the position to, please do consider going to my Subscribe Star. It's a free speech alternative to Patreon. Either way is great. I really appreciate your support. Inside Netflix, the fallout from Cuties has been compared to the Facebook's Cambridge Analytica scandal, a moment of reckoning where the company realized it was going to be held responsible for anything that happened on its platform. The incident demonstrated that we see ourselves as a conduit for content, read one analysis, called a post-mortem on the incident. In contrast, our members see us as the source, as the author/presenter, and as a result, we may unconsciously absolve ourselves of the need to view through the content of this lens. The controversy also highlights why some employees have been disappointed by the executive's response to the Dave Chappelle comedy special, The Closer, which released earlier this year and has been widely criticized as phobic. Well, I don't know, YouTube is really cracking down. While the backlash from that film was partly driven by various theories who hadn't likely seen the film, The Closer's criticism came as employees and activists made up more lies. So, of course, The Verge is going to swing this all around. Essentially what The Verge is doing here is running interference for Netflix. Probably because, the author of this is a big fan of the work. I don't know. I can't say for sure what, the target audience of that film was, but it wasn't me. And there were a lot of people, tens of thousands of people, who did cancel their Netflix service. You saw that represented. They talked about it, that they had lost a bunch of subscribers because of that. Now, yes, you can, as the saying goes, don't like it, don't watch it. And I 100% agree with that. I mean, heck, I have maybe 200,000 active viewers. You guys don't watch every single video, even from a channel that you presumably like. There are things on Netflix that I would never watch, and there are things that I'll watch if I'm bored. If I didn't have to kind of have it to cover things for this channel, it'd be definitely gone. But it keeps popping up when I need to kind of, be up on a series. I have to actually watch it so that I can say, now, I didn't watch this film because I don't need to have that in my mind. I thought it was just very bizarre. You see here the review process. The warning signs came as early as January 16th, where Netflix's editorial creative team responsible for reviewing films to the release watched it and wrote a summary of the potential issues American audiences might have with it. The dance scenes are spicy in nature and can sometimes be uncomfortable to watch, featuring slow motion videos of them enjoying their fingers and close-ups. And so they knew. Netflix knew that this film was going to be that it was. Just because people are offended by something doesn't mean it's necessarily wrong, okay? But Netflix knew that this film was a problem, and they still decided, hey, let's go ahead. The review process is supposed to prepare Netflix for potential backlash and make sure the right people have seen the film so there aren't any surprises. But Netflix determined that the film did not meet the bar for additional oversight. In France, the film received an all public rating deemed appropriate for everyone. In the US, it got the spicy rating. Yeah, I mean, different countries have different, stuff going on. The synopsis combined with the poster made some employees uncomfortable, yet few were willing to speak up. According to people familiar with the situation, some felt that because of the creative aspects of the film weren't in their direct control, it wasn't their place. Plus, the director had won a directing award at Sundance, so it had prestige. So even employees didn't like it. The hesitancy goes against the core Netflix value, courage. You say what you think when it's the best interest of Netflix, even if it's uncomfortable. But that wasn't totally clear where employees should turn if they wanted to flag the film. So even the employees didn't like it. This is a very interesting cover, little subversion by Netflix. I can't say that I'm surprised. I really appreciate all of your support. Thanks for dealing with me in the mobile studio. It's going to be like this just for a little while as I gather some even more interesting content for you. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like on it. If you haven't yet, please do click that red subscribe button down below, and we'll talk to you again real soon.